Hey, Rideshare Commando here, and I've been a little out of touch, but I've also been earning a lot of money. So I'm consistently bringing home about 200 per day to 300, and I'm averaging about $35 an hour. Some of you want to know how I do it. Okay, it's simple. There are a couple ways to do this. One, well, first off, if you are a new driver, you need to drive. Just drive. The reason being is you need to get that 100 rides underneath your belt in the first month. What that means is 3 to 4 rides per day every day. That's all you got to do. 3 to 4 rides. Okay, you need to hit 100 rides in your first month. That means take an hour out of your day every day for 1 month and get that bonus. Now, what do I do consistently? Well, I want to test something out. And I wanted to test out my methods without any boosts, without any prime times, without any of that. And I did. And that averages $30 per hour without any boosts. Okay, 35 to 40 an hour with boosts. So, number one, whenever it's rush hour, I am in the very center and I'm working my way out. What that means is I'm right there at the hotels and the office buildings right when rush hour hits, right about 3 o'clock or so. Okay, the reason I do that is I only have to drive for a couple hours and I can make $100. Rush hour traffic, that's limiting, so that's why you work your way out. You find somebody in the center that needs to go a long distance, and then you keep going back to the center until you get those long rides with the 2.2 boost or the 1.8. And what you do is when you see a boost coming, like when you see things starting to heat up, turn yourself off until the boost is heavy and then kick yourself on. You're going to get a long ride because there's going to be somebody somewhere that needs to get to their end destination and doesn't care about the fee. So you got that bonus there. Now, one thing I also do is I drive in the evenings. Now, why do I do this? During the day, you got bunches of traffic. But if you drive in the evenings, starting at, let's say you do the rush hour thing, or right after rush hour, you keep going throughout the night, and you pull yourself a nice little 8-hour shift. Or you wait until like 9 o'clock at night, and then you pull an 8-hour shift. Now, is it inconvenient? Yes. But you also maximize your earnings, meaning you're not stuck in traffic. Anybody that's traveling anywhere after 9 o'clock is going a decent distance. They're not going to have you drive 12 minutes for a half-mile ride, which has happened to me multiple times yesterday. Like I was earning $35 an hour with multiple rides that I would drive 12 to 15 minutes and they would only have to go less than a mile, which is horribly inconsiderate by passengers. But guess what? Passengers don't give an F about you. They really don't. I mean, if they miss where the stop is, because this happened once, I was right on the ping, right at the corner. The girl was 20 feet away, but she was standing behind the building and didn't bother to look at the corner. I circled around the block, went back, called her up and said, "Hey, listen, I'm here. What's the deal?" And after she had to figure out where she was relative to where I was, blah, she marked me down to 3 stars for her mistake. I did everything right and was courteous. That's going to happen. Passengers don't give a F about you. They're self-centered, self-righteous, self-important. I mean, they are the center of their own universe. So remember that when you pick them up and treat them like kids. Okay? You're polite to kids. You speak softly to kids. You ask, "Would you like any juice? Do you need to charge your phone?" Yeah, treat people like kids. That's the safest way to keep your ratings up. Okay? And if they engage you in a deeper conversation, okay, limit it. And, I mean, you can get involved with them if they start the conversation, but let them start it. But driving at night, I will focus on the rural areas, because one thing you need to learn is what are the hotels that corporations use in your area for when people travel from out of town. Start with those areas and then work your way around, like away from the business area. So if this is the center hub for business, you want to be way out here when you're driving at night. And you're going to get a whole bunch of, you're not going to get any boosts or prime times, but you're going to be on the freeway quite a bit. And with the freeway, you earn $1 a minute. So for every minute you drive at 60 miles per hour, you earn $1. That's basic math. Okay. So, I mean, you can't really go wrong this way. Now, does it mean that you're sleeping during the day? Yes. But that's not a bad deal. And keep in mind, this is just what I do to do other things while I'm like in between rides. I'll park and answer emails and so on and so forth. But I also list out a couple ideas such as fishing. So if you want to make that $300 night or $400 night, then you do a method that if you look through the guide, like there's a playlist that this is attached to. And there's a method called fishing. And what you do is you basically just drive the freeways or you drive the highways. You keep yourself on and you're covering a much wider area. And what that does is, let's say you've got a person down here and you're up here. Well, you're 5 minutes away, but if you're on the freeway, you're 3 minutes away. Get what I'm saying? If you're already moving, then you're already moving in their direction. So you have a more likely chance than somebody just sitting around to get that ride. And I do that all the time. I am constantly driving. I'm not just sitting around like some people for 20, 30 minutes waiting for a ride. I don't believe in that. You also need to focus on big centers of where people are. Okay, floating the outskirts is nice, but go where all the people are, where the big houses are, and so on and so forth. If there's a town outside of the major city, like maybe 15, 20 minutes away, and that's with traffic. If it's like a 5 to 10 minute drive without traffic away, then I would focus on those towns. Because you have people coming into the city, you have people going to the airports. I mean, it's a very safe bet. And I'm going to draw all of this out on that little whiteboard behind me in the next couple days. It's just, I want to earn some money, and I'm about to go out in about 10, 15 minutes. Make sure you drive, keep yourself safe. I treat everyone like a kid until they prove otherwise. And what that means is I'm very nice to them, I'm very polite. My tone is always higher and lighter, and people usually get entertained by this, but I'm also a comedian. Don't worry about impressing your customer, just worry about getting them from A to B. That's your main focus to maintain your ratings. And the more quiet you are, generally the better your ratings are going to be. And you're still going to have assholes. One thing to avoid is pool rides. Pool rides will freaking kill you. And I'm going to do another video on that in just a second. So anyway, subscribe. I'm going to catch you guys in a second.